Hi, and welcome to the Market Alert for Friday, the 16th of October 2020. So yesterday the banks, big tech and black gold bust as Bitcoin and bond yields bounce. So yeah, a bit of a problem yesterday with banking stocks. Also the prospect of a no deal Brexit as well weighing on the DAX yesterday. Other news from yesterday though, we've seen that we've got an increase in the initial jobless claims in the US as well, almost 900,000 for this last week as it continues to see job claims more or less steady, but increasing this week as well. So there's an article here that goes into more detail about this, and it's definitely bad news. And we're over the 60 million that I spoke about way back in March and April. It just continues. So I'm sure that Trump will want to get the election out of the way as quickly as possible if he wants to be re-elected. So let's have a look at yesterday's carnage. The market started off by moving lower. As the market closed through the S2, I sold here and traded down to about 70 points, if I recall. Got out way too soon as the market came down to the BRN here in the S3, where normally 90% of the time the market will find support. But yesterday it continued to move to the downside. It was just one of those days where it just kept going. I drew in fib retracements to see if the market would find support here. It went straight through, and then it continued, as you can see here, even with some buying pressure here, where you've got the volume greater than the previous bar. The market still failed to hold and continued to grind to the downside. Even though there's a bit of support there, you see prices come back. They once again reverse, close back through the 5-bar moving average and the BRN, through the fibs that I drew in there, and continue to trade below the low. And that was the picture until we had this big bar here with our second green bar, like the first one, holding the market for a while. You see prices coming back 50 points off this one, some serious profit taking there. But again, the MDI remains red. Prices close back below the 5-bar moving average. I drew in some fibs from this low to this high, and you can see again, once prices close below the 89%, which they will do in a second, even though I remove them, and at the low of the BRN, prices move lower. So I kept checking back with the daily chart, and I removed all of the other fibs as the prices had moved through these. Focus on the 89, because that would be a real big stretch for the market to get to. There were still points to be had on the table following any bounce. Again, I'm just checking back with the daily chart and prices. Again, you'll see green bars periodically holding the market and bringing prices back. But again, now we've broken the 78 in the daily chart. So again, keep checking to see where we're heading. And I'm going to fast forward as prices continue to move lower. They close back above the 5-bar, close back, and then move to the downside. But we actually traded down to the 89% level. And then prices found a bit of support. Again, you see the buying coming in at this level. And this is after 10 a.m. So I'm going to fast forward through to this. We've got Lagarde speaking here. That was the high impact news item there. And then you can see prices rebounding after she spoke. And then we head to the jobless claims at 1:30, which were bad news. And then, of course, the plunge protection team come in and start moving the Dow futures to the upside. And the DAX follows, which you can see here. Once prices get above, you can see the buying straight off in the start of the session. We get a couple of selling bars there, which you'll see here. But as soon as the market gets back above the 200 MA, prices then hold as they continue to move higher. That's all that was required. And again, look at the buying in this bar that takes prices back through the 200 MA there. So once it had moved higher, run out of steam, you can see prices coming back to have a look at the 200 MA. They drive through, which you see there, back to the BRN, and then try to make their way back. So you can see how the 200 MA then became a magnet for the market, and prices then start to move back to the upside as we head into the close of the day. So let's have a look at where we are in the bigger picture of the DAX for yesterday. You can see that we traded down to the 89%. I'm just going to remove these lines, which I did yesterday, but obviously didn't save the chart. So there, we're at the 89%. The market rallied off this. You can see it closed just here yesterday for the DAX, and overnight prices are sideways at the moment. An interesting setup here, because this can go either way off this type of price action that we're seeing here. Seen this for years, many years. You can either end up with a down bar, or you'll end up going back towards the highs, and that's going to be dependent on the news that we've got. But let's just have a look at the overnight before we have a look and see what news we do have. So at the moment, overnight we've seen the market come off the 200 MA and struggle to stay above the DP level, which we're seeing there now, and also the 200 MA. So selling through the actual DP level, and accelerating this through the 200 MA as well. But we've got a triple bottom here, which we can see with some buying coming in. We've also got buying here, and some buying here as the prices are moved back towards the 200 MA. At the moment we've got some selling at the 200 MA, which moved lower, but a bit of buying and an increase in volume here. The time is currently 6:37, so the futures will open at 7 a.m. Need to get back above the DP in order to move to the upside. The high is going to be a long way from yesterday. In fact, it's going to be 100-200 points to the upside. On the downside, we have 200 points. Also, we have 200 points to the upside for the high, and 100 points to the downside to the low. And if that's taken out, of course, then we will start to see close below yesterday's low. Will send the market below the 89 and start to head into this area here for a test of the lows that occurred way back in, let's have a look at the date, 2nd of October. But it's a couple of 100 points down to here, and then down to this low here, if the market does take out the low that we see here. And obviously it's also a couple of 100 to the upside as well with the high there. So I'll just reset that, see where we are at the moment. That it looks like the futures are going to move the market back to the upside. And in the Dow, which is a lot stronger, you can see yesterday not a big sell-off there, but then you have got the no Brexit deal lingering in the background at the moment, so caught in a bit of uncertainty. It's amazing how that's gone off the radar since COVID. That would be dominating the news at the moment. I wish it was, actually, instead of all this other nonsense. But yeah, so the Dow at the moment is still strong, but below the 5-bar moving average in the daily chart at the moment. Meanwhile, the implied volatility hasn't increased significantly. It's from 22.39 to 23.44, so just up more or less 0.9. Oh, just over, actually. Sorry, it's over 1.1% there on those figures. But still below the 20-bar moving average as well, so still chance for the Dow to continue to move to the upside as well. Meanwhile, today we've got news at 1:30. No news this morning. Retail sales from the US, and the prelim sentiment as well out at 3 p.m. Okay, today I don't have any more on the Build Back Better mantra and slogan. Too busy with other things yesterday, but just keep an eye on this slogan, and you'll know exactly what it is when you see it now by what we've covered in the last few days in the market alert. It's interesting. The agenda is moving forward nicely, creating the destruction that is required to build back better. That's all I will say in today's market alert as the country's being shut down by a stealth instead of going for a national lockdown. They're doing it county by county. Same monkey, different dress. Okay, that will do it for this one. As ever, thanks for watching. Have a great weekend, and I will see you in the next one.